who is a target customer for this? Is it just these large companies that you're talking about?
I would say any organization with a large, complex contact center environment, whether it's an enterprise or a service provider or BPO, organizations like that stand to benefit the most from the benefits from a consolidated, business metric view of performance. And that's I think is really the sweet spot. By the way, it's not just a view. We do connect the technical and operations side of the house to actual business outcomes, and that always differs, from customer to customer. So I just need to just touch on that point a little bit. If you look at the next screen, what we have here is kind of a showcase of the highest value we can deliver as a product, and that's taking all things technical that are going on in the front of a contact center and tying that together to the back end of a business, which is its ability to generate revenue, and then connecting the dots. So in this one example, we're taking standard metrics like the call handling performance, turning that into an intermediate metric, which is, hey, what is the business outcome of all those activities? For example, how many net bookings have I done? And then of those net bookings, how many have I converted to actual revenue in the end? So very simple view, but underneath masking a lot of complexity, and that now we're having to tie together multiple back office systems to be able to come up with that telemetry. But the goal or the result of that is quite unique in that what's not necessarily apparent up front floats to the surface. For example, in this example, the agents who are making the most number of calls up front are not necessarily the ones generating the most revenue. And so the question is why? So from a process perspective, very quickly, you can pinpoint those things that can potentially radically improve performance and things that might be ever so subtle. So those those tactical insights are, I think, some of the things that we're able to surface in the best way.
Now that we understand who is the target customer, what are the requirements for a customer to go out and implement CCM?
So generally, the base requirement starts with setting up the consolidated views of performance at an operations level, and so for that we have an established methodology that's actually what allows us to install this product in between 5 and 15 days, depending on the level of complexity and so on. And then the base installation itself, we then use that as a launch point to evolve to higher value metrics with the addition of business dimensions and business organization information. So by meshing in this data, CCM is able to produce summaries by location, product, cost center, other business organizational information. So those are some of the basic requirements. At the top of the food chain, obviously, we've got business value metrics, and to obtain this, we've got to bring in core business metrics into the mix, and so that changes from client to client requirements-wise. And so we start off with a base set of requirements that are fairly straightforward, and then we evolve those moving upwards in an incremental fashion, creating more and more value in the metrics that we deliver.